George Anthony has been gone since 8:30 this morning. We're worried that he's done something himself.
New at 4, the call for help from the Anthony house, reporting Kaylee's grandfather George missing. He was tracked down at a Daytona Beach motel where he may have been planning to take his own life.
He had text messaged family members that he wanted to end his life.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Mike Garofalo. First at 4, yet another tragic twist for the Anthony family to endure possible suicidal thoughts by George Anthony.
The grieving grandfather was found safe at the Hawaii Motel in Daytona Beach around 2 o'clock this morning. Daytona Beach Police Chief Mike Chitwood talked him out and drove him to the hospital. Jessica D'Onofrio begins our live team coverage at Halifax Medical Center. Jessica, you just found out exactly what prescription medication George had taken before he was found.
That's right, Jackie. But first, let me tell you that George Anthony is in stable condition here at Halifax Medical Center. He is resting in one of those rooms in that tower that you see right there, and he is being medically evaluated. Now, sources tell me that he did take several sleeping pills.
911, what is your emergency?
I'm George and Cindy Anthony's attorney. I just spoke with John Allen with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
George Anthony has been gone since 8:30 this morning, and he has taken several bottles of medication from his house, as well as some pictures, and we're worried that he's done something himself.
The Anthony family attorney called 911 Thursday night after George Anthony was missing all day.
You said he had a couple bottles of medication.
Yep.
Do you know what kind of medication it was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are any weapons missing?
No.
Okay.
But he had a weapon that was confiscated.
According to an incident report, George's wife Cindy told deputies that her husband has been upset about the death of his granddaughter Kaylee. She told deputies that on Wednesday she asked her husband to pick out some jewelry for little Kaylee for her funeral. She believes that may have made him even more depressed. She noticed several medications from the home were missing, along with a picture of herself and her daughter Casey, who stands accused of murdering Kaylee. Law enforcement was able to trace George's cell phone activity to an area in Daytona Beach. That's when police there went searching for his 2007 Chevy HHR in parking lots nearby. When they found him, they found an unfinished suicide note in his car, and George Anthony alive inside a motel on Ridgewood Avenue.
The family calls the reports him missing. He sent in text messages threatening to kill himself. From the first paragraph of the letter that I read, there's clearly an indication there that he wanted to end his life and that he wanted to be with his granddaughter.
Daytona Beach Police Chief Michael Chitwood went to get George himself and take him to Halifax Medical Center for a mental evaluation.
En route to the hospital, he asked me if I could understand what his plight was. Can you imagine what this is like? You probably have no idea what this is like. People all tell me they feel sorry for me. People tell me they can understand. And I said, well, I don't know how anybody could tell you that, because I don't think anybody could ever understand how that was.
George Anthony also said in one of the texts that he wanted to be left alone to make sure his granddaughter was in God's arms. Now, this morning he was not found with a gun, but there was alcohol found inside his hotel room. For now, I'm live in Volusia County. Jessica D'Onofrio, Local 6.
Is there any indication, Jessica, how long doctors will keep him at that hospital?
At this point, no, Jackie. They could keep him for 3 more days. They could keep him for days after that. They could even let him go today. But they are evaluating him, and we will bring you those latest developments. Jackie?
Hard to imagine what any of them are going through. Impossible. Jessica, thank you. In the next hour, we expect Cindy Anthony and the family attorney to make their way to Halifax Medical Center to see George. This morning, someone returned George's black Chevrolet HHR to their home on Hope Spring Drive. Cindy spent most of the day with her family's private investigator and the founders of the Kid Finders Network, the charitable organization that was helping the Anthonys search for Kaylee. The Anthony's attorney says they want to thank the Orange County Sheriff's Office for acting so quickly to find George. Now they hope the public will respect their privacy.
I have not spoken to George yet. Cindy has spoken to him, and if you ask George how he's doing, he will always tell you he's okay. He's not okay. He's been through something that has affected his life his wife's life, his daughter's life, and his granddaughter is gone. And so he is not okay. But he will be okay. He's recovering from last night. He's with us.
Conway said he believes George did not want to kill himself. That's what happened overnight, a cry for help. He promised that both George and Cindy will be under strict supervision from now on. We will have a live report from the Anthony home coming up at 5 o'clock.
And we know Casey Anthony was informed about her father's actions and the fact that he is in the hospital by the Corrections Health Services staff this morning. Adam Longo spoke with Casey's attorney about that, and he continues our live team coverage at the Orange County Sheriff's Office, where investigators just talked about how George Anthony was located. Adam.
Yeah, Mike, the family called Sergeant John Allen last night, who's one of the lead supervisors in the Kaylee case. Now, obviously, this was a benefit to them because he knew the background with the family at that point. And he's the missing persons supervisor here with Orange County. So he's got the tools and the information needed to be able to find someone who goes missing. Now, he told the family to call 911. Deputies responded, and a spokesperson who just addressed the media said that they knew that time was of the essence, that they had to find him quickly. Listen to what he had to say.
Anytime you have a missing person and you have the information that we had, as yesterday, we had some concerns, valid concerns, from the family lawyer and the family themselves, to include Miss Cindy Anthony. And with that information, we knew that it was imperative to respond right then and there. And we would have done that with any other case, having that information.
Now, Casey Anthony's attorney or his staff, they were not the first to notify her this morning. Apparently, Corrections Health Services with the jail told her about her father sometime between 7 and 8 this morning. Now, just after 9 is when one of Jose Baez's attorneys arrived, and Baez himself showed up shortly after and addressed the media.
Pressure of being under the constant microscope would affect anyone. I think from day one, this family has been attacked and attacked and attacked.
Now, Baez would not say how Casey reacted to the news. That's something that we've come to expect from him, not talking about Casey's emotional reactions to certain things that happened in her case or with her family. Now, back out here live, the Sheriff's Office spokesperson also told us that, as you heard him say there, Carlos Padilla, that they didn't handle this case any differently than they would any other missing persons case. I mean, we hear oftentimes about how 24 hours has to pass before an investigation will actually start. But they said they had information in this case that time was of the essence, and that's why they move so quickly. Live outside the Sheriff's Office tonight, Adam Longo, Local 6.
Hey, Adam, separate from this incident with George, I understand there was a ruling today from the judge handling Casey's case.
Yeah, that's right, Judge Stan Strickland. Apparently we're going to be seeing some more of Casey. He ruled today that Casey needs to be present at all the hearings in the future. Now, we had this motions hearing a couple weeks ago where the prosecution asked that she be in attendance. What that could have the effect of doing is knocking out grounds for appeal down the road if she's end up found guilty. But Casey Anthony, the judge ruling, will have to appear at all future motions hearings in his courtroom, Mike.
All right, thank you, Adam.